Okay, you are really killing content audit, but killing them. So can you tell us how we are supposed to do this the right way?
Content audit?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to a coffee shop and you find a user and you awkwardly walk up to them and you ask them what it is that they want.
Okay, love that. I love
And
that.
sometimes they'll tell you a bunch of stuff. I sort of got started on this. I ended up living in Asia for 2 years, and it all started because I went on vacation to Japan. It seemed like an interesting place to go. I'd never been to Asia before. I went to Japan on vacation, and I just took all the subways around Tokyo and was fascinated with the way everyone used the internet. So like they're on their phones. First of all, Yahoo is a thing in Japan, but it's not a thing anywhere else. And I watched the things they did on their phones, and I was snooping on people, of course. I was so curious. I was like, wow, here's an entire continent I really don't get. And from a marketing standpoint, I'd love to go to a continent I don't understand anything about and just like understand customers and meet people and understand the way they do things. And that's what really got me started on this journey of like customers are different and asking people questions. Like here's a little tidbit on the way Asian websites are structured. So in Amazon, the way that you find products is with search. You always search on Amazon. All of the category navigation is actually mostly for SEO. In Asia, it's the opposite. So a lot of e-commerce websites have very weak search because people do category. I don't know, again, could have changed. When I was in Asia and I was looking for products on e-commerce websites, I was always bothered by the fact that the search was so bad. And when I would talk to people, it's because they explained they did category navigation. If you'd like to buy a banana, you didn't search for banana, you went to produce and then, narrowed down to like banana.
Oh, okay, so nice.
Different user behaviors, and you can only find that out by asking people. I'd worked on a project to expand SurveyMonkey's presence in Malaysia, and I translated our entire site into Malay, and it didn't move the needle. And by asking and talking to people, I discovered that our user base did not speak Malay, they spoke English. So I had already penetrated Malaysia without realizing it. So like you only learn these things by asking. So instead of doing content audits and using keyword research tools, talk to your users. See if you can pick up the phone and talk to them. Go to a coffee shop and talk to them. Do a survey. Learn from them.
This is funny, and we're gonna finish on one or two, just for one. I have still a few minutes. I read during COVID and after COVID, I think I read something like 73 marketing books just to put me back on track because of the COVID things, And one of the common point I've noticed is that all of them, whether they were talking about paid search, SEO, content, strategy, build, personal branding, whatsoever, they always said, and it always come down to know your customer, answer your customer questions, talk to your customer, define your ideal customer. That's always start like this. And most of the time they would even recommend to do it completely offline, always. I hear that you say exactly the same thing.
Yes. You don't, you can't research into your customers without talking to your customers. I say like that.
I agree. This is
another one of the things I love doing is looking at customer data, looking at the things that customers email you about. And then that tells you more about your potential audience.
For sure.
Like I mentioned earlier, I'm starting to work with companies and individuals on coaching and helping them to be better at their job. I learned that from people saying, could you help me do this? And then when you're in tune with, oh, this might be an opportunity, then you follow up. So you do your research and then follow up. Don't just say, oh, I saw this on a tool and I'm going to build on it. Google it, ask about it, ask potential customers.